Yes, now ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Thomas Fans YouTube channel. Let's talk Smackdown now. In terms of non-title action, I don't think anything really happened apart from one thing that was to do with Damian Priest. Now obviously Damian Priest has had a bit of a beef with Aleister Black. Obviously Aleister Black started with R-Truth, but now they've got a bit of a beef. And after last week when Aleister Black attacked him, not R-Truth, Damian Priest was looking for him. He ran into Carmelo Hayes, who warned him. Weirdly, The Miz is not around. I don't know what's happening with that. I don't know if he's injured. I don't know if they've just scrapped it, but stupid. So it led to Carmelo Hayes and Damian Priest having a match regardless. No one won the match because Aleister Black interrupted it and attacked Damian Priest. I don't mind this. Utilise the talent. Damian Priest, Aleister Black, utilise them. You know, literally, and it's not going to be a bad match. What I don't like is that Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre was just cut off after it was 1-1, WrestleMania, Saturday night's main event, and the last thing that happened was Damian Priest hitting that concerto on Drew McIntyre. Surely Drew McIntyre, of all people, would not let that slide. But of course, Drew McIntyre's in this weird match where he teams up with Logan Paul, someone who I think his character should not get along with, against Jelly Roll and Randy Orton at SummerSlam, and there was absolutely nothing to promote that on this episode of SmackDown, but highlighting what happened on Jimmy Kimmel. And speaking of not promoting nothing, there was nothing for the Women's United States title picture. There was nothing but a video vignette for the WWE Women's Championship picture, Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. We're 3 weeks away from SummerSlam. This is something you do on the episode before. We're 3 weeks beforehand. What you're going to do next week and the week after, God only knows. But what we do have is United States title picture. Now, obviously, the episode kicked off with Solo Sikoa and his MFTs in a car crash, and they blamed Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu got taken away, and he played the character well of, F the police, because he was a former criminal, and I feel like that was a bit legit. And then he came back, Jimmy welcomed him out the car, and they went down the ring to meet Solo Sikoa, who was in the ring and cut a promo on Jacob Fatu. And then obviously it broke out into fight, and somehow Jacob and Jimmy managed to beat up all four of them. And just as they were getting away, Adam Pearce came out, confirmed that we get Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa at SummerSlam for the United States title. But it's also in a steel cage. Doesn't mean nothing because people are still going to get involved. And then Solo Sikoa actually ended up getting arrested. They didn't say what folks. They said, falsely accusing Jacob Fatu. But would he get arrested for that? God knows. But he got arrested regardless. We do have Women's Tag Team title picture. Now, normally, Women's Tag Team title picture is only on Raw, and it's not even a thing. It's dead. It's very much alive. It's on Raw and SmackDown, and sometimes even NXT. And Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss were not defeated after Evolution. Alexa was, which was weird because she was the one who formed this tag team, who wanted some success from this, and she was deflated. And Charlotte Flair actually dug it, and she said, "You know what though? I'm Charlotte Flair. I go all in when I do things." So I spoke to Adam Pearce, Adam Pearce was running SmackDown. I spoke to Adam Pearce and we got a match at SummerSlam. So just like that, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss have got a tag team match at SummerSlam, despite losing in the Fatal 4-Way match at Evolution. But I'm not going to complain because that's a good match, and obviously Charlotte and Alexa are going to win that. And then Alexa, to be fair, was like, "Well, how have you just got this?" And she goes, "I'm still Charlotte Flair, even if I'm in a tag team." And then she had a match with Raquel Rodriguez where I think Charlotte actually got the win. So I don't mind this. The WWE are very clever in the fact that they brought Charlotte Flair back and they did the same thing that they've always done with her. Just have her win, right? Women the Royal Rumble because we didn't have someone like Io Sky or Liv Morgan win the Rumble because Charlotte Flair just won it. Stupid. And that's why people hated her. And that's why she got booed. Even when she tried to cut an emotional promo after coming back from a horrific knee injury, WWE Universe were ruthless. They didn't care because of how WWE booked her. WWE knew what they were doing by booking her with Alexa Bliss. They'd do something different with her. And then they've turned Charlotte Flair from the most hated in the company to one of the most liked in the company. She gets a loud pop when she comes out now. That's thanks to, well, also Alexa Bliss, but mainly WWE's booking. That's great. Do more stuff like that. And then we had a Fatal 4-Way tag team match to determine number one contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championships, which are newly won by the Wyatt Six, right? And I don't know if this was just number one contenders or if it was for SummerSlam. So far, it's just number one contenders, but I can imagine it might roll into SummerSlam. Regardless, it was between Fraxium, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, and the new members of the tag team division, Rey Fenix and Andrade, which again, I'm not mad about because A, they have chemistry, B, they have similar movesets, like they both do that rope thing, and C, they're both not getting used very well, so this is a good way to use them. They won that match, which I'm happy for, because that's going to be a great match. But it kind of sucks for all the other tag teams that have been putting in work in the tag team division. But also, it made no sense that the Street Profits weren't in that because they just lost the titles. They deserve a shot. But I suppose there's the argument that Street Profits already have a rematch clause, so another team could get number one contendership. And maybe this number one contendership, since it's not confirmed for SummerSlam, might happen next week, might happen in 2 weeks' time. The match might get interrupted by Street Profits. We might get a triple threat match at SummerSlam. You know, we might get Wyatt Six, Street Profits, and Andrade and Rey Fenix at SummerSlam, and I would not complain about that. So let's actually do that, because that match was sick, even though it was only like 10 minutes. But I feel like this crowd was a bit fickle. I feel like they were overhyping it because it was a tag team match. It was a great match, but they were overhyping it. Yeah, and that's everything apart from the main event picture, which was... Oh, I forgot to mention, Stephanie Vaquer did also have a match with Alba Fire. Don't know why. Literally don't know why. Because they were going on about how Stephanie Vaquer won the Battle Royal and that she could face a champion, whatever. They've not confirmed what champion, although she's on the Raw roster. It would make sense she was facing Io Sky, or even Naomi now is what she is. So yeah, I suppose they're putting her on SmackDown, so her options are kind of open. So I'm guessing they're probably going to go with Jade Cargill because she's probably going to win at SummerSlam, because they'd probably prefer Jade Cargill over Naomi for Stephanie Vaquer. Which I agree with, maybe to a degree. So I suppose maybe they'll have her on both brands, so they kind of leave the options open, see what the people might like. But yeah, Stephanie Vaquer had a match with Alba Fire, got a pretty easy win as well. But yeah, the main event, back to the fans being fickle, because Cody Rhodes actually got a boo when he came out. He got cheered earlier on when he was on screen, when he took the contract from Adam Pearce at the start of the show. When he was walking, he got cheered, but when he came out, he got booed. And again, this isn't often against Cody Rhodes. Everyone loves Cody Rhodes, loves the graft he's put in. But it's because John Cena. It's John Cena's farewell tour. We're supporting John Cena. And this is where the surprising part came out. John Cena came out. He actually played a good guy, played nice, and he said, look, I can't make this match at SummerSlam. I've got a big movie, yada, yada, yada. No one thinks my scheduling and my emotional and physical stability will be fine for SummerSlam. So maybe we can do it at Clash in Paris. Maybe we can do it in Perth. And obviously I knew where this was going. Obviously Cody Rhodes beat him up. No, well, they had a bit of a fight first, but Cody beat him up. Put him through a table. Did a weird splash through a table. I don't know why, but this madly awkward splash through a table forced Cena's hand on the contract the same way Dean Ambrose did to Wade Barrett many years ago, which is funny that Wade Barrett is commentating over it. But forced Cena's hand on the contract so they could sign the fight. Yeah, and it's confirmed. Obviously, we already knew it was confirmed. But Cody Rhodes, John Cena, and this is the thing they revealed, will now be a street fight, which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at it being a street fight. And if anything, if you've noticed a pattern, at SummerSlam, it was Bloodline Rules. The year before that, I can't even remember what it was. What was 2023? Roman was champ then. Who did Roman face in 2023 at SummerSlam? I couldn't even tell you, but before that, it was like a last man standing with Brock Lesnar. So, yeah. They tend to do that at the main event at SummerSlam now anyway. But the cool part about this was Cody Rhodes came out and cut a promo about how he didn't flinch when he won the Rumbles. He didn't flinch it when he beat the Tribal Chief. He didn't flinch in all these opportunities that he's won, where he faced Randy Orton, won King of the Ring, you know, when The Rock tried to intimidate him and the Bloodline and all this. He didn't flinch in those moments, but he did flinch at WrestleMania when he was in a title match with the greatest of all time, the most beloved superstar of all time. He did flinch and he didn't hit Cena with that title. Instead, Cena hit him with the title and cheated him and won the title. So now when they were fighting, Cody was ready not to flinch and he actually hit Cena with the title. He did the thing he should have done at WrestleMania. But here's the thing, I was all for, like, Cody might take it from Cena at SummerSlam and I wouldn't be mad, because that would give Cena the opportunity to do other things, like get the Intercontinental title. But I don't know if I want Cody to take it from at SummerSlam. I want Cena to hold it all the way up to the end of the year, lose it at the end of the year, and then at the end of the year, turn around and say, this can't be my last match. I can't lose at my last match. My last match will be at WrestleMania. And then he goes to WrestleMania and maybe wins an IC title, or just has a great retirement match and wins the IC title in the meantime. That's what I'd really love, but who knows. Decent episode of SmackDown, wasn't too long, but I really feel like we need to include, because, you know, the women's division just got completely ignored there. We had a random Stephanie Vaquer Alba Fire match, and then the Charlotte Flair Raquel Rodriguez match. Coming off the back of Evolution as well. I don't know if that's just because they're giving a lot of women a rest, or I don't know. But right off the back of Evolution, we can't be doing bad booking for the women like that, because there was no US title shot since Julia's won it. Julia won it, at Night of Champions. We've had a whole pay-per-view, a whole weekend of PLEs since then. Do you know what I mean? She won at Night before Night of Champions, not CENA. What's it been, 4, 5, 6 weeks? Come on, man. What we're doing. Yeah, and Tiffany Jade, I mean, I suppose there's not really much you can do, but still, decent episode of Smackdown. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.